All right, everyone. Welcome back to Global Currenciez. My name is Devon Bell, and today we're going to do a quick little recap of the week. Also, do a little forecasting to see what next week might hold for us. Um, this has probably been the most exciting week in trading that I have ever been a part of, that I've ever seen. I've studied the history of charts as far back as a chart will let you go, and I have never seen anything like what this week has had when it comes to trading. All right, and what we're talking about here is the election, right? 2 days ago, we had the United States presidential election, and somewhere somebody knew what was going to happen because markets were moving before votes were being counted. So if you were a part of that and you got you jumped on early, um, I mean more power to you. We've seen 2,000 pips an hour. We've seen 1,000 pips in two or 3 minutes on the peso, and in during that whole day, the peso moved over 30,000 pips. Okay, so uh, we've seen a lot of movement this week, guys, and if you've been watching the videos or going through Global Currenciez University, this was the first video that I made this week was actually Sunday, and I was talking about potentially buying UJ off the Head and Shoulders, but I said I wasn't going to enter because I didn't have enough indication whether to enter that market. But as I was saying that, the market opened and it gapped right here, and I was immediately, my thought was to sell. I told you guys that gaps usually get filled, and so I would be looking to sell, but you know I had you guys on a trade signal to buy it. I personally, and I told you I wasn't going to enter that buy just because I'm just going to hold out for the sell. Okay, so you guys could have bought, and you guys could have caught 150 pips. Conservatively, you could have caught 70 pips just because of this resistance right here. You guys could have caught a good 70 pips, and you could have held off for that sell. I mean, because that sell was huge. That was during the election too, and that was 420 pips. Okay, and as I was talking about the sell, I also mentioned this buy right here. Now it's still been going up. It looks like we might have some resistance right here. So we see it's kind of consolidating, forming that nice triangle. But that could be either a reversal or a continuation. So I'm not going to enter, and it's away from the EMA. So I'm not going to enter that right now. But I mean, this buy right here was also golden, and that's just on the yen, guys. So you could have had 100 pips, um, upwards of 400 pips conservatively, and then another conservative 4,600 pips. So we're talking about 900 to 1,000 pips, guys, just on one signal alone. Okay, now if you traded the peso, then I mean even more power to you. Now we've also been going through with the Euro USD and its movement. Open up the chart a little bit more. So yeah, we can see I had this right here as a head and shoulders. We got shoulder, a head, and another shoulder. And so this right here, once it dropped below this line, I would have sold, but luckily I didn't, because the US election, and this is another reason why I didn't, is because of the way that the US dollar would have played out. Okay, but after it made that initial spike, you could have sold the reversal on anything. After that initial spike, almost every pair immediately dropped down. So or went in the complete opposite direction. So you could have sold this right here. We actually had this in GCU as a sell, and you could have rode this down to about right here before it started ranging, or you could have, sold it about my initial point. So you could have caught, 50 pips, or you could have caught right here, right after this. You could have caught, you know, 300 pips. All right, and so you were already looking at, 13 to 1400 pips on two pairs. Um, I mean, there's just a lot. I'm not going to go through every single currency pair with you all, but you know, I told you guys immediately after we saw oil dropping down, I told you in the chat to go ahead and expect to buy, right? I mean, you could enter at any point with a decent lot size and you would have been good to go. So you could have bought for extra 25 pips, but 25 pips on Brent or even WT or crude. I mean, you're set really, because these markets aren't usually as volatile as they have been. So you could have bought, and then on top of that, see, I have this line right here because this was my first take profit level, just because of how much resistance it's had. So entered at about right here, caught about 20 pips or so, and then that's where I actually took my trade out. Luckily I did, because it came back down, but you could have entered again. I personally didn't. But after about right here is when I started looking for a sell, but I held off, and it's a good thing I did, because it came back up. It formed a nice double top, and this is where the sell came in. We're still writing that down, and so Apple was another one to sell. So, and I mean, guys, this is all in the university. All right, so that's pretty much been the week. We've traded a lot, guys. This has been a very successful week. Let's see, Tuesday we were looking at the JOLTS job openings, which ended up helping the USD. The yen's current account, which played nice to the buy for the USD, or for UJ, United States dollar yen, since the dollar strengthened and the yen weakened. I mean, it played perfectly with each other. And so I talked about that trade on Sunday as well. And then we were talking about the crude oil inventories, to trade that. And then, I mean, NZD and AUD, they have been volatile this week too, but I haven't put out any trades on those particularly. Then Thursday, unemployment rates, guys. I mean, that's today, but unemployment actually came out significantly less than the previous and the forecasted. So that played nice to the US dollar and its strength, because as we can see, that's driving oil back down. All right. So we still have the FOMC, and then tomorrow we have consumer sentiment. Okay, and so I mean, we can see there's other pairs to watch, but I mean, U.S. dollar is been my currency of the week for this week, guys. So here we have chart analysis for different currencies, different pairs, different indices. Let's see, UK oil if you don't trade Brent. So click here and you can see the charts and different markups. We also have video analysis that you can watch every day, except for Saturday and Sunday, of course. There's videos. All right, so here we've got UJ again, Euro USD again. You got GU. You can actually watch the videos, okay, and that's going to give you a better understanding. Now, to top it off, guys, we have these live analysis, and so we can see that Brent and crude oil were on sale. Like they were on sale. We were telling you guys to sell that 10 hours ago, and if you had, you'd be looking at an extra 13 pips. And for something that's priced for $46 per lot, per standard, I mean, not per standard, but per contract. If you're, it is per standard if you're trading with leverage of 1-to-1. But if you have leverage, your standard isn't going to cost you $46 per uh, per lot, per contract. But yeah, so I mean, catching less pips on something that costs more, it's just about as equivalent. So we look for these big spikes on these because they're a lot more volatile, or not volatile, but they're a lot more liquid, guys. All right, so there's oil. What else? We got the UCAD, Euro AUD. Like I said, I haven't really been studying Australian dollar this week personally, but Euro USD, and these are all within a day of each other. Okay, and so you're not gonna all these take profits and stop loss levels. They're not gonna be the same exactly as in the analysis, because we're basically giving you guys different ways to structure your trades. Like I said, you could have held this buy. I personally would get out right here just because of how much resistance it's had in the market. All right, so because of that, we've got one, we've got two, three, four, five. It broke through a little bit, six. So we've got, it's a really structured pair right now, and that's you can definitely trade this. It looks like it's ranging, and it might continue to do so. But where most people might not be trading it right now, you could definitely look at the possibility. All right. Actually, that's way too big. Way too big. Apologies. I haven't put it at 6 point. Oh, way too big. There we go. All right. So yeah, if it doesn't break through and it gets rejected right here by this support, I mean, you could definitely hop on for another buy for a conservative 50 to 60. Well, it'd really be 5 to 6 pips, but like I said, these are a lot more liquid. So I mean, you could definitely get in on that. All right. Let's see. Where we at? Where we at? On the hour chart. So let's hold on. Let's go to the 15-minute. Definitely. So we'll go back to the hour chart and oh shoot. Oh, that's Brent. Whoops. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Welcome back. Forgot where we left off. Okay, I can see. Alright, so yeah, Brent is actually looking like a decent buy, but like I said, I would hold off. Wait till you are certain. Actually the US, so with everything going on tomorrow, I mean, the fact that the market closes, but we have consumer sentiment, which should thrive to push the US dollar bullish, but we want to make for sure and wait till that report comes out. But like I said, it's been a very volatile and liquid week. Hopefully you guys are logging into GCU, taking the courses, learning. We're going to talk about correlation coming next, but things like margin and risk management, that's all important. All right, because you could win 457 trades in a month. All right, I've done it before. But now, if you're not practicing proper risk management, your 458th trade could blow your account. Okay, so that's how important it is to continue learning, continue studying. Don't just willy-nilly be trading strategies that you picked up online somewhere. All right, a lot of that stuff is just scams. Okay, so actually take some time to dedicate yourself to the university, because you learn. I'm not teaching you a strategy. I mean, I'll show you how I trade. I'll tell you what to trade, when to trade, why to trade, but I'm going to actually teach you about the markets. I'm not just going to say, you're not a robot. I'm not going to have you, just watching your chart every minute to, see when this EMA and that EMA crosses over, or, if it hit the 38.2 fib level. We don't do that. Okay. We watch the news, guys. I just want to thank you for watching this video, and look forward to the next. I'm probably going to do a couple more videos tonight, so stick around for those. Go ahead and log into the university, and get to study and get that orientation course knocked out. Good luck with 105. And yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, just find me in the chat, and I will definitely answer any questions. If you would like a video explaining certain things, go ahead and message me in GCU or on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to do that. I'll look at your favorite pair. All right, but thanks again for tuning in, guys. This has been a recap and a forecast, and can't wait to hear from you.